There once lived a young girl named Vera, just 18, born and raised in a small, quiet village called Owa, a place where dreams rarely leave the dust, and where a girl's worth was often measured by how quickly she became a wife. Vera was beautiful, not just in her face, but in her soul. Her laughter could brighten the dullest day, but deep inside, her heart carried the weight of poverty. Her parents, humble farmers, loved her dearly, but they could barely feed the family, let alone pay for her university education. So Vera, in her innocent heart, began to believe that marriage was the only path to a better life. She told herself, "If I get married early, maybe life will smile on me. Maybe love will protect me." One day a man came from the city. His name was James. He was charming, smooth with his words, and in a village like Owa, a man from the city was like a star fallen from heaven. He told Vera stories of tall buildings, bright lights, and beautiful city life. He promised her comfort, love, and a future free from hunger. Vera believed him. Her parents, tired of struggle and impressed by his fine clothes and city talk, never asked what he did for a living. They thought, "At last our daughter will have a better life." And so, without questions, without hesitation, they said yes. The wedding was small but joyful. Vera's eyes glowed with hope, and as she left her village, she looked back and whispered to herself, "This is the beginning of my new life." But the city was not what she imagined. When she arrived, Vera realized James lived in a small, crowded apartment, just one sleeping room and a small seating area, shared with 7 other men. The nights were noisy, the air thick with cigarette smoke, and the laughter that once made her feel loved slowly turned into arguments, and then silence. James was hardly ever home. When he was, his voice was loud, harsh, and cold. Days turned into weeks, and Vera began to feel sick. Vomiting, high fever, and pounding headaches she couldn't explain. She told James, "I think I need to go to the hospital." But James waved her off. "You'll be fine, Vera. You always exaggerate." Her body grew weaker, until one morning a kind neighbor, a young lady named Onion, found Vera shivering outside and took pity on her. Onion bought a small pregnancy test kit from the local pharmacy. They waited in silence. When the result appeared, Onion's eyes widened. She whispered, "Vera, you're pregnant." Vera froze. Her hands trembled. Tears rolled down her cheeks, not from joy, but fear. She wasn't ready. She wasn't safe. When she told James, he didn't even look at her. He just said, "My congratulations," and walked away. 9 long months went by. 9 months of loneliness. 9 months of tears. James never changed. He never asked about her checkups, never bought her medicine, never cared. Her belly grew heavy, but her heart grew heavier. Neighbors helped her with food. Follow us for more episodes. Old clothes and kind words, but words can't replace love. They can't replace care. Then came the night of labor. The pain hit her like waves, each stronger than the last. She screamed, but James just sat there scrolling his phone. When the midwife at the hospital asked for money for delivery, James said, "I don't have any." He walked out, and never came back. Music swells, heartbreak tone, soft crying in background. Hours passed. The nurses refused to help without payment. Vera cried, begging them, "I'm dying. Please help me." But bureaucracy has no mercy. Then one woman, a kind midwife with tired eyes, stepped forward and said, "I can't watch this girl die. Let's help her." She held Vera's hand, whispered prayers into her ear, and stayed by her side through the longest night of her life. After many hours of pain, a weak cry filled the air. A baby girl was born. Vera held her child close, tears streaming down her face, whispering, "You're the only good thing that came out of all this." She looked at the door, but James never came back. Days turned into weeks, and reality set in. There was no money, no husband, no help. Vera had to grow up fast, to become a mother, a protector, a survivor. Sometimes she'd sit by the window of that crowded apartment, staring at the city lights, thinking about the village she left behind, the home she once called safe. She'd whisper to her baby, "My little girl, I promise your story will be different." Life had broken her, but it hadn't destroyed her. Vera learned that love without respect is pain, and promises without action are empty words. She learned that a woman's worth is not measured by the ring on her finger, but by the strength she carries in her heart. Vera's story became a lesson. To every young girl who thinks early marriage is a way out, to every parent who believes giving away their daughter will bring her peace. Sometimes what looks like gold from afar is nothing but dust when you get close. So if you ever meet a girl like Vera, a dreamer, a believer, a heart too pure for this world, tell her this: your life is worth waiting for, your education is worth fighting for, and your dreams, and no matter how small, are worth believing in. Because Vera's tears should never be in vain. Follow Vera's story, share her pain. Let it remind us all that love without responsibility is cruelty, and that every young girl deserves more than survival. She deserves a life worth living.